Yo, what is up, Nerdy Squad? It's your boy back with another video. And today's topic, we gotta talk about Eric July and the Rippaverse, because we are officially getting a new comic this summer out of nowhere, and the character's name is Horseman. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you saw the look of the character. And before I get into this video, I need all of you to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because your boy is grinding towards 4,000 watch time hours. And I've seen my hours dip just a little bit, but this is my hobby. It is something that I definitely want to get paid to do. And I definitely need the support of all my subscribers to help me reach that goal. So let's get back into it. So with this new character that we're getting, we don't know anything about him except for the fact that he was created by Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett, and they presented this character to Eric July, and Eric July ran with it and made it into a book. And now we have this new character called the Horseman that a lot of people are saying gives them Batman vibes, or he's a ripoff of the Batman, because when you look at his character, the helmet does kind of look like Batman's helmet, except for it looks like he has a streak going down his back, maybe a gold or yellow streak going down his back. So I can understand the Batman comparisons automatically. And then of course he has like a belt buckle on a with his ninja suit, and obviously it does give off Batman vibes as well. But it's the same thing with Marvel, the same thing with DC. Both companies take from each other, and it happens. How do you think other people get inspired to find other ideas? They take cues from things that they've watched growing up and add it to what they're doing. So this is nothing new. But here's the thing. We're supposed to be getting Yara eventually this winter. We're supposed to be getting Gooding in the spring, and then we're getting that book in the summer. My only question is, why are we getting this Horseman book in the summer when we don't really know anything about his character? We don't know really anything at all, except for the fact that he's a street level character and the two guys that created him. Now, if it's being said that the reason we should get excited is because of the two guys that created him, that's not enough to get fans excited, because a lot of fans may just be casual, and this may be their first step into comic books, and Chuck Dixon is telling fans, hey, buy this comic just because it's a street level character, and that's not enough to, go on. We need to know more about his history, more about his background, and he's not somebody that's been in any Rippaverse comics before, because he's just was created. So how can we get invested in this character if we don't know anything about him? And I was watching Mike Partika's video he did recently, a couple days ago, I believe, where he was giving his thoughts on the current state of the Rippaverse and basically asking Eric July, do you really have a plan for where you want this universe to go? Because it's like everybody else in so many words is doing the heavy lifting. You got the Sasuke sisters working on Yara, Chuck Dixon is working on the Alpha Corps, and now this new Horseman character, and then you got Eric July working on Isom. You know what I mean? So it's like with Isom, he has a plan, but with all these other characters, there's no plan. Because that was something that kind of caught me when he brought Chuck Dixon on. Chuck Dixon basically said he was brought on to write a story for these characters. Mike Baron was brought on to write a story for Gooding. So it's like, does Eric really know where he wants to take these characters to? As far as, what's the story, what's the background? Because they were created, but what is the story behind these characters, and as far as where they're going? Now, I understand that Eric has to create other characters in the Rippaverse to keep fans' appetite wet, so that we're not waiting 6, 7, 8, 9, almost a year until we get the Rippaverse book, the next Isom Rippaverse book. So I get that, but when is Yara coming out? Why haven't we heard more about her character? When will we find out more about her? We know there's been people cosplaying as Yara before we even knew anything about the character. We know we've seen her in other comic books from the Rippaverse, but why should we be invested in her character and we don't know anything about her? We're not saying give us the whole story on a silver platter, but give us enough that it whets fans' appetite so they want to invest in this character. We don't know anything about her. So I can understand, where some YouTubers may be sitting there questioning Eric July's Rippaverse comics when it doesn't feel like he has a guide on where he want to take these characters. We've heard him say he has a Bible, but it's like, how much of it has he filled out? How much does he know about these characters in this universe that he wants to create? I mean, yeah, he created the characters, but at the same time, there's other characters being created that you got to wonder, are they going to take him off track, such as this new Horseman character? Is it going to take Eric July's Bible off track a little bit, because now you got a new character that's never been in this comic universe before, and you got to wonder, where is, is it going to take him off track? Where is this character going? So, I understand that he has to have books in place, to kind of fill in the gaps until he gets to his next issue of ISOM 3. But should we be worried that we're getting so many books before we get ISOM, especially with a new character we never heard about? Should we be worried as fans that maybe he doesn't know where he wants to go with ISOM 3? Because last we saw, it was Bloodruth and ISOM's handler, I forgot his name, and of course ISOM in this cave. They were trying to get away. ISOM was fighting off all these monkey creatures, and that's it. So now we gotta wait, God knows how long, before we get the next ISOM 3 book. And we've heard the rumblings that all the other Rippaverse books are being worked on in the meantime, in between. Yara 2, Alpha Core 2, this new Horseman book 1, all those different things being worked on in the meantime. And, I'm still invested in the universe because it's good to see something new from the ground up you can jump into, instead of having to worry about going to the comic store and seeing all these comics and trying to figure out where to get invested in. But there is some doubt because, like I said, Yara is on the way eventually. We just know she's coming this winter, and God knows it's going to be spring before we know it, and they're still going to be talking about Yara's coming. So if it's not winter of 2023, does he mean the winter of 2024? Because that's an even long wait. And then, of course, like I said, you got Gooding coming out in the spring. He just kind of seems like a Tony Stark character with a really corny suit, or a fireman suit that he's altered. And then you got the Horseman coming out in the summer. My biggest thing is that I think he should have ISOM come out in the summer and then push back the Horseman book for the fall, just because we don't really know anything about his character. It just feels like, oh, we got this new character out of thin air, we're putting him out, and we need you guys to get excited about him because he's a street level character. I'm all for street level characters. I don't think every threat has to be an otherworldly threat, but Eric July said he wants to go back to having street level characters, and yet here we are in ISOM 2, where ISOM is big bad villain Darren is being completely overlooked for these monkey creatures, and it just doesn't feel like, it's still a street level threat. It feels like it's another worldly threat, because as you saw in the photos, there's a whole underground lair full of these monkey creatures. Where did they come from? How did they get here? We don't know. So I wonder about Eric July's Bible. Like Mike Partika said, how much of it has he filled out? Is it, over 100 pages or less? We don't know. We probably will never know. But what we do know is that fans should be questioning the Rippaverse right now as far as where it's going. Because, again, you got this new character that's completely made out of thin air. We never heard about that. Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett are throwing out, and that Eric July is telling us to get behind. Well, he's not telling us, but eventually he will tell us to get behind this character, just because, it's something new, something fresh. He's a street level character, and it's probably not going to be woke. So, y'all post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think about the current state of the Rippaverse. Do you still have faith that Eric July knows what he's doing? Because everybody else is writing for these characters, except for the main guy who created this universe, Eric July. So y'all post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Like, comment, subscribe. Watch some of my videos from start to finish. And I'll catch you on my next video.